Hello there everybody and welcome back to Dave's World. So, this week we're going to do things a little bit different. Last week I released a music video called Shrink and Grow, which was like a crazy mix of jazz and heavy metal music. And a lot of people have been asking me what the hell is going on with the song. So, today what we're going to do is myself and also Ross, the guy playing the drums, are going to talk to you a little bit about how the song came about and what is going on when we're playing. Now, if you haven't seen that video, then this video is not going to make a whole lot of sense to you. So, click on the link above and go check it out. Dave's World, Dave's World, music and traveling. Where did this song come from? What happened? Well, it's a pretty simple story really. My friend Ross, he posted a drum solo on his YouTube channel that I just thought was really interesting, and it had lots of technical things happening that at first I couldn't quite work out, which really made me want to put some music over the top of it. So I think the first thing that's important to talk about, timing in which the drums are playing. So things will get a little bit technical here, but stay with me and I'll explain it. Basically, Ross is playing lots of different time signature. The very first time signature that he plays is a bar of 9/8, and that basically means that there are 9 eighth notes in the bar. So the simplest way to count that is just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a 9/8 bar on repetition. But what he does is in the next bar he plays a shorter version. He plays 7/8, so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it keeps getting shorter and shorter. So it goes 9/8, 7/8, 5/8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3/8, 1, 2, 3. Then it goes back the opposite way. So it shrinks 9, 7, 5, and 3. Then it grows back to 5, 7, and 9. So if you count the whole thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's where the name comes from, shrink and grow. The timing is literally shrinking and growing. The first thing that you're going to hear when you hear the song is not the drums actually. You hear like a bunch of clapping and you see it. I took those time signatures and I clapped them like this. I went and I did many layers of those claps so that there was like, it sounded like a lot of people clapping the same rhythm. But then I kind of pulled them apart so they weren't quite in time with each other, but they were almost in time with each other. And that creates a kind of phased effect. That you know, that sound where you hear two things that are not quite in phase with each other, or not quite together, and it gives this weird sort of sound. And then from there, I did a whole bunch of effects like reverbs and delays and all sorts of stuff. Before we go any further, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you guys over to Ross, and Ross is going to talk a bit more about the drums and the beats and things like that and what he came up with. I'll send you guys over there and I'll speak to you again soon.
Thanks Dave, and hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the basic drum pattern in Shrink and Grow. In February 2020 I went into the studio and I was recording a drum showreel, so I was putting together loads of different styles and experimenting with some solos and odd time stuff. When I was putting all this stuff together, I was mucking around with some odd time there, doing it was like 9/8 and 7/8, and they feel quite natural to me. I've always done 9s and 7s and 5s. Then I thought, okay, right, I really want to challenge myself here. How about I start on 9/8, and just work my way down, descending through the odd times, then come back up. I had to play it, I don't know, I played it about 100 times to start with, just on a loop, counting it out loud, and then I tried doing it without counting it, because I want it to feel natural. That's the most important thing for me, was it to feel natural. I mean, if you're to play it, if you're counting out loud, it sounds really still and robotic even. So once I got that going, and yeah, here's some other little things for some drum nerds out there. My approach to it in the studio was to have more a relaxed approach to it. So what I did was, rather than like if you're playing matched grip, I changed my right hand to more of a French grip style. So you've got your standard American kind of grip like that. So I turn my right hand, thumbs facing up. So I engage less muscles there, and that forces me to have more of a relaxed approach in the ride, so it's not as heavy. But then when I go to the accents, the 9, the 1 of 9, the 1 and 7, I can turn my hand, especially when I hit the bell here, and that produces a lovely accent, so the dynamics are coming through with it all the time. The end goal was to have a nice relaxed approach that felt natural, and I wasn't forcing it and trying not to count it. When I had the basic loop going, I wanted to add the double kicks. So I followed the accents again on the 1 of 9, the 1 and 7, the 1 and 5, and then I just kind of rolled the kicks with it. And that's how I came up with that basic pattern. And then moving from the ride to the hi-hat to create different textures. And that's the kind of basic concept behind it. And then it went on to, I do like a 5 and 7 little drum fill, I think it's 5 and 7, and then just the 4/4, some basic double kick patterns just to finish it off, and then back to the pattern to end the song. That was really cool to put together, and it was great that Dave managed to see that online and put his music, his parts on. He's going to talk about that now. See you later, guys.
So at this point, you guys probably have a good understanding now what's going on with the rhythm of the song. And I wanted to try and keep this sort of theme of shrinking and growing when it came to playing the guitar. So with my chords, these things, I wanted to move down the guitar neck, and as I moved down the guitar neck is when the rhythm was getting shorter, and then I wanted to move up the guitar neck when the rhythm was getting bigger again. So I did this kind of thing where I went like so you can see that is going down, then back up. So that was actually quite tricky to get in time, just that with the drums, because of that moving time so fast. Took a lot. Now I've got it quite automatic, but it took a lot of thinking at first. Now the next challenge was to play a melody. So the melody of a song is usually the part that you sing along to, right? So if it was summertime, and the summertime and the living is easy, you know, that kind of thing. That, right? That's the melody. So the melody that I played for this goes something to that effect. But what is going on there? That's it sounds a bit bizarre, right? So you've got, let's talk about the chords a little bit more detail. The first 9 hits, the first bar is this, right? That's 4 beats on the E major 7, 2 on the B flat 7, 2 on the E flat major 7, and then just 1 beat on this A7, which then leads to a D major 7, which is the start of the next bar. I hope you're following me so far. So what's interesting about that is it's not all in the same key. In jazz, quite often we change the key center of a song bar to bar to give it that jazzy sound. For the first 4 beats, like I said, I was in that E major 7. So the first 4 notes of my melody are notes from the scale that fits with that chord. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this B flat 7 is very closely related to this E flat major 7. For those of you who are interested in music theory, it's the 5 chord leading to the 1 chord of E flat. Then that means that we've really got another 4 beats of 4 eighth notes of opportunity to play in E flat. So we've got, that's what I did there. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then that last note there, that 1, fits over that final chord. So there's far too much detail to go into here for the whole chord progression. But basically, what I tried to do was stick, just to notes within the scales of each chord, and cover and follow the chords as they move down and up, and that's what gives it this kind of sound. That's us finished with the kind of jazzy part. That's what's going on there. And next, we move on to where things get a bit more thrash metal. I got my old BC Rich Warlock out of retirement for this tune. This guitar, I played it a lot when I was a kid, and when I was growing up, and I used to play in rock and death metal bands and things like that when I was young. So kind of going back to that kind of thing was really fun. What I did then is I took those chords that we were talking about, those jazzy chords, and I simplified them. So if it's a jazz chord, it has all these notes in it that make it sound all like wide and jazzy. And then if I just played like this, which is really just the root of the chord and the fifth. That's what a root and a fifth sounds like. You get like power chords. So I took those jazz chords, made them power chords, and continued to play on that loop when things got heavier. For the guitar solo, I simplified the way that I looked at the harmony or the chords of the song. Instead of trying to follow what the chords were doing, instead I just made it in like E. I just made E the key of the song, and I used the E minor scale and some chromatic passing notes, sort of some stuff like that, to create a kind of Slayer-esque kind of solo. Lots of fast shredding and things like that, and that kind of worked really well. So I just improvised the guitar solo over there. After that, there was only one more guitar riff in the song, and this was when the song actually went to 4/4 for a little bit. Where 4/4 is basically just 4 quarter notes, so not eighth notes, which are half as long as quarter notes, just 4. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I did like a really simple riff. So a riff is a repeated musical phrase, and just using an E and an F. I think it was something like that, and that seemed to work really well with the end of the song. And then from there, the guitar completely cuts out, and you've just got this bit where I'm speaking, where if a kind of almost Texan accent. Wow, gee there, Ross, man, I think that was a pretty damn good take, all this kind of stuff. And what I do is I add like an effect to make it sound like it's being spoken through like a tannoy, like a tannoy announcement tool. So I added that, and it sounded quite good. What I'm realising as I'm getting towards the end of this video is I haven't at any point spoke about the lyrics of the song. If I'm honest, there's not a lot to say. Shrink and grow to me was a bit like actions that you do, right? So I started, like you shrink and you grow, and I don't know. So I started thinking of like you walk and talk, you sing and groove, and you feel this on this moment that you're. It's almost like a rap, and so it's kind of like thrashy, like thrash metal, but it's also a bit inspired by hip hop. So I just came up with all these kind of like silly, funny action things. And that's where the lyrics of the song came from. And what I did was I recorded all my parts twice. So this is a kind of recording technique that guys like Dave Grohl would use from the Foo Fighters. So I'm going, you walk and talk, you shrink and grow. And I did that twice. You walk and talk, you shrink and grow. And when you put those together and you put one to the left speaker and one to the right speaker, it gives this really almost phased, again, like the claps at the start, this almost phased sound, which sounds quite cool, and it makes the vocals sound bigger. Well, thank you so much, guys, for watching this video and watching it all the way to the end. For those of you who are still here, I appreciate you even more. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And of course, if you haven't done so already, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. We've got a new video coming out every single Wednesday. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you next week. All the best. Cheers.